Hello YouTube, this is DBAMZ Gaming coming at you with another episode of some Colonel Sanders career mode goodness. And this week, we have our bye week in the middle of the season. So we're going to take the chance to just kind of go over a mid-season report of everything what's going on around the league. And the biggest surprise, as you can see, is we're ranked 5th in the nation. That's right, we were 16th before our victory against Alabama. And I guess the coaches and the media think we deserve a top 5 spot. Hopefully we can keep it, and maybe we can get a national bid for a possibility. But first off, we're going to quickly start off with recruiting like we always do. And this episode, we're going to go more in depth and show us like the whole process of it, rather than skipping bits and pieces. So as you can see on David Carter before, we're gaining slowly on him, but he might make his decision before we gain back up on Northwestern. Unlike most of these other players here, teams are starting to catch up by using their locksmith, or like we're just not putting enough points on certain recruits. Because you can see here Maryland
just had their visit,
and that really gave them a lot of points, 900 points. But we still have our visit too. See, like every other player here, they're gaining 200, 300 points. So maybe that's from locksmith or just, I guess, not putting enough points on them. But our two big players here, Jared James and Albert Williams, we're actually fighting for their number one school at the moment. So we can't really complain about that because those two are probably our best players on the board at the moment. So you can kind of just take a look here. We have a pretty big lead on most schools here, just showing off of like the prospect overview.
Ooh, Temple's beating us. That's not very good.
Yeah. And then we have Casey Parsons here, JUCO, but still good enough. Jared James will probably be over him next week because we're only 55 points off. As you can see here, we gained 490 points on Albert Williams, and he's one of our better players.
He'd be really nice for a wide receiver.
Considering he's like our third, fourth best player, and overall, he is a gem, which is always nice. And the schools just that are going for him aren't really putting any points on him. As you can see here with Jared James, we're the only like East Coast school to even put anything on him. If you took a look on him, here we go. It's all West Coast. And luckily there's no deal breaker. Maybe like, his close to home and everything. If that was a deal breaker, this would be worthless. But I guess he's open to move or to change.
We're just calling him and saying blue turf is stupid. Please put us ahead of Boise.
Well, maybe switch blue turf for blue jerseys. That's our method here. But I mean, we should be able to catch up on him. I mean, none of the schools are even putting any points on him. It looks like they're just using their bonus for the advantage. As now we're just going to take a look at visits. We already have most of our prospects scheduled date. And visits, they play a really big role in this game. Because if you can complete the goals that they offer and they want,
they would probably commit.
That's true. You like, for say, if you're a quarterback, they'll ask for like 250 yards passing. And then if you complete that and if you win and everything, they'll usually commit if they're a certain percent locked. As here, we're just going to take a quick look at our My Schools area. And this just kind of shows like our grades compared to other things. So obviously playing style, proximity, and playing time all depend. The SEC is most competitive conference. That's not a surprise. We're already at an A- coaching prestige. That's very surprising considering we've only been there for 6 games. Alabama has 13 first-round picks. That is
not even
ridiculous. Our stadium atmosphere, you can see we're selling out. Nice 67,942 on the dot. I mean, that's pretty nice to see. I mean, we're 6-0. Nice win streak at home. As we do have the reports thing, but we really don't need to use that right now because we only have 500 points on each player. But when we go in for those big recruits, that will come in handy. So the next thing we're going to quickly take a look at is the job security on each coach. This kind of cool thing to look around to see maybe any open positions for next year if the colonel is open to move. So we're just going to go sort by the NCAA and then just kind of sort from least. And I just don't know why the game does that, but here we go. We have obviously like the pretty bad teams in the country here.
0-7.
UMass, 0-6, Akron. We got to go back to that Akron coach for a second.
Their career record, look at that.
I don't know how he's still a coach.
82 and 200.
Yeah, it's not very impressive. Maybe like 1-3. Here he is, 82, 202. So I mean, not really the greatest coach. I mean, UCF here, That's a decent school in the nation here. Pittsburgh, they've had a good history. Well, maybe the Colonel goes to Hawaii. Nice
Take a
little
little
vacation.
time off.
There's Arizona State, Auburn, surprisingly. I mean, 52
Wow.
is still pretty low in the SEC, so
You can't be going 14-17 as Auburn.
yeah, well, I mean, they play pretty tough teams. Luckily, we don't play them this year. I mean, since Cam Newton days, I guess they haven't been doing as good. But it would be kind of cool to see them doing good. I've always liked Auburn. Now it's showing the top 25. We are ranked 5th, and look at that. We actually have one number 1 vote in the nation. That is very surprising, to be honest. We were not expecting that. But obviously, you have Notre Dame and Ohio State at the top. Nebraska, they're making a push. That was not shocking, but they're not the highest rated team in the game. And you can see number 6 and 7, 2 teams that we both beat. So kind of ironic now that we're ahead of them on the rankings. Johnny Manziel sits in 9th with his Aggies. Vanderbilt in 11th. That was another surprise in our minds, considering we have to play them too. And that could always help our rankings when it comes to that BCS bid. Georgia's ranked 12th, and they were ranked 2nd last week before getting demolished by Missouri.
How do they lose to Missouri?
52-21. In Missouri, though, too. But
This game can be somewhat random with high-ranked teams and low-ranked teams.
And there's Oregon. They lost to Washington. I mean, you always expect them to finish a top 5, but I guess this game has other possibilities for them.
Yeah, they always choke every year that we play.
Yeah, and we got Northern Illinois in 23rd, and then West Virginia will round out top 25. And if we go into the media thinks we deserve to be in 4th. So, I mean, that's kind of nice there, but you know what? The BCS has us in 5th right now. We're not really...
The media is being nice to the Cinderella story.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, we've had a pretty tough schedule, and here's Heisman Watch here for all you Heisman freaks. Johnny Manziel, 2nd place. Obviously, they're not the real names because we started this before any roster updates. But Northern Illinois' quarterback is in the Heisman voting. I mean, Northern Illinois doesn't have the toughest schedule in the NCAA, but
He's got to be putting up some big numbers.
that's true. And we'll go take a look at championship contenders and just see how we're going to go for the next couple of years. And
We're just supposed to go down.
yeah, we're not really looking good. So this kind of showed us the importance of like our recruiting class, and like we really need to get those big recruits to hopefully improve us, because we don't want to be that 1-year team. We want to start building a dynasty. I mean, we'd be playing in a season mode if we weren't going to try to build this program. But we have to just do something. And we'll quickly go jump into season stats here. Billings, his quarterback rating is over the roof, 192.4. Only 1,100 yards, only 3 interceptions.
Got plus 10 TD interception ratio.
That's not too bad at all. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, he's been playing good. He'll be back next year too. Here's Ike Hester. He has a nice 5-yard average too.
Awesome first down yardage.
7 TDs. And then there's Billings too. I guess the option game worked out well.
Oh, I thought you've had some TDs with him.
Then I got stopped at the 2 at the 1 against Alabama the last game. And I have more broken tackles than you, so that's a little bit questionable.
This game's glitched.
And we'll go take a quick look at receiving yards. So Armstrong leads the way, and he'll be back next year too. So he's doing a great job out of the number 3 spot.
Yeah, he's only our 3rd receiver. It's that slot going down the middle and slants, and they don't really have good DBs at the 3rd spot, and we like to abuse that.
And then we have here our 2 better receivers, McFarland and Hayes. McFarland, I believe he'll be back too, and we're only going to miss... Ike Hester's leaving, but our receiving core next year will be at its peak with these current players. As you can see here, we got a couple of players. Obviously, we're not using all of them, but our offense only focuses on like our 3 receivers. As now we look at our defensive stats, yeah, Patrick George destroying the team in tackles and anybody close to him.
Leading the team.
I mean, look at 2nd place compared to 1st. It's like 15 off. McDonald has 7 sacks, and he'll be back next year too, so we can only imagine possibilities. And we're only like halfway done the year too, so he's maybe on pace for like maybe 13, 14 sacks. If we can get 10, that's still a very nice number
double
too.
Digits in sacks every year.
And the most important player on the team, the kicker, he's 3 for 3. You can't 9 points on the board. Okay, can't complain about that. And now we're gonna go take a quick look at the toughest places to play. We were thinking, where is Commonwealth Stadium ranked here? Obviously not anywhere near the top because we've only played 1 year, but
Michigan 6 with the biggest stadium.
you'd think they'd be unstoppable at the big house, but I guess not. As after scrolling down for about like half a minute, we finally found us ranked 43rd. Not very good at all. But since we've come here, we've been winning. And we just got to keep that up. Hopefully one day it'll be in top 10, top 5. But for now, we'll take a quick look at our depth chart just to maybe see our future outlook. So we are going to lose Ike Hester next year, but we do have Jonathan Cunningham, who's only going to be a junior too. Our fullback will be back. And here's what we're talking about our receivers. McFarland's back, Hayes, Armstrong, Roberts, Hall. They're all coming back next year. So if our receiving's a little bit weaker this year, they'll be stronger next year. And our tight ends were kind of in trouble with that. But hopefully we can land some big recruits that can play tight end.
O-lineman will be doing nothing but improving.
Yeah, there's maybe one senior here on chance, but that's always replaceable. Our D-line, our 2 ends will be back next year, better than ever. Our D tackles, though, we have 3 seniors, which is not
that's
good.
crappy.
Our linebackers, again, Patrick George, he's going to be missed next year. Our DBs here, look at this. This is all sophomore and juniors. So, again, they'll be back next year. Maybe it'll be like a nice pick show for all that we know.
Both our safeties coming back.
I can't complain about that. So, we're doing good this year. We can only imagine what's going to happen next year. So, it's been good so far. And we'll go take a quick look at our schedule because the year's not over yet by any means. So, you can see we've played half of our year, and now it comes down to judgment time. We have a game against Mississippi State. That's a rivalry.
That's a tough one.
That
but
FCS
this one,
school's done. That's over. Missouri, they beat Georgia, but then we have 3 games away from home in Vanderbilt, Georgia, but we play Tennessee at home too. But me and Brock have had a pretty bad history with Tennessee in past NCAA games.
They have our number, I guess.
So hopefully we can avenge that when we play them to end the year, and they have a perfect chance to ruin our season too. But that'll do it for our episode today. For DBAMZ Gaming, I'm Dan.
And I'm Brock.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and we'll catch you guys later.